All right, we're back at it. We got maybe 30 minutes to tie today, but I've been experimenting with triangles. There's a bass bug, panfish fly called the triangle bug, and it's just two triangles glued on a hook. But I was experimenting with shapes of the triangles, and I want to create a chugger style head, a little bit concave, um, top water subsurface, but just pushes water. Doesn't not necessarily popping, but pushing water. Um, and so with the triangle, we'll do this as the tie-in point. We'll do one glue. There's space in between, like a like a pastry type empanada, and then we're gonna fold the wings, and we might have to trim it a bit. But I'm hoping to get a full circle, and I want that to be the head of the fly. It's got a little cup, and I think it'll create a good action, unique action. Not like a crease fly, just pops. And a narrow crease fly doesn't do anything; it just floats, kind of scoots along. But that's the goal. Here we go. We need a hook. We need a hook, and then we need the base of the fly. We'll do a size 2 stinger, barbless. Just a good hook for bass fly. And then I'm thinking, here's what I was thinking. So I tied this minnow pattern, and it's minimal material but nice full body, and then it has the monofilament tied, and then the ends of the material fanned out to shape a tail, and it looks nice. I don't know if this thing would fish particularly well. I don't know what kind of action it would have. I don't think it would have any action. I think you're kind of scooting along, but that's enough sometimes, especially for really aggressive fish like sea bass, or you don't need much. But so I was thinking this, and then with the head, because that material's nice and full. We've done. You could do bucktail as well. That'd be fine. But that's what I was thinking. So this body with this with a different style of head on it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So let's prepare. Oh, man, I don't even know how I did that. Tied that head on there. We'll go ahead, make a thread base. I think I pre-tied. No, I tied in yeah, I know how I did it. Okay. I can do it. Get some colors. This is the synthetic hair, comes in huge bunches, super cheap. Amazon special. We'll get our synthetic hair. I'm not going to do so crazy with the color today, because we'll make a prettier one later. This is the first time to try. And then we'll have it. I think we need more. We need more material. So let's add a little bit more. We'll do the gray, the seafoam, and then the gray. We need more. There's just going to be one tie-in of material, and then we'll give it a trim, even out those ends. Okay. Then we'll tie in, I'm thinking Or do we do the we need flash. So maybe, yeah, we need some flash. Good flash. Good flash. Pink. Oh, this is, no, that's too, here's good flash. Here's a good flash. Very bright. I think this is polar flash. So we'll do the polar first. And we'll hopefully get this integrated in the tail. If not, it'll just be on the body, but that'll be enough. There's an errant eyeball stuck to the flash. All right. We'll do this 50-50. And then position just on the top. Tighten down, fold it back. And so it's resting back. And this will be like the inside of our hair body. And then we'll get our hair material. I'm not going to blend it. I'm just going to keep it separate, hopefully. And then I'll tie the hair in. Is that 50-50? I don't know. Yeah, that's good. Gray on the bottom. Tie the hair in. 2 loose wraps. Smush it with the thumb. Oh, snap the thread. The thread I'm using. It's too thin. Let's use a stronger thread. This is a thicker thread. I got lazy because there's not much tying. And then I'm just tying the hair and the flash, and then the rest of it is going to be glue. So I thought I could get by with a thinner thread, but that's cutting corners. Lazy. Oh, I'm not even showing the tie. What the heck? Here we go. Okay, now we have to restart with a stronger thread. Okay. And so we have our flash in. The flash is too long. We'll take some of that off, and then we'll tie in our synthetic hair. But we have to measure well. Tie in the hair, 2 loose wraps. Work it around. That's good. We need some on the bottom. We got some on the bottom. Tension is important. Work the hair back around the hook. Our thread is slipping. Advance the thread so it doesn't slip. Work the hair around. All right, finished. So if you didn't want to do that tail tie, you could create a little taper and then just leave it like this, which might make the most sense, but we will continue with our experiment. Now we tie off. Let's tie off. And then we'll do the triangle. We might need a bigger triangle. 1, 2, and So the original oh, we got to tie in the triangle. What? We might need 2 triangles here. Okay. So triangle, this is going to be the concept. Like this. Yeah, we got to tie in that triangle. Restart the thread. Here's the triangle. We'll tie in this point just a little bit. Tie in the triangle. I'm not going to glue because I want that cavity. I'm hoping to create that cavity. I have more than enough space in front, and then in front of the hook eye as well. There will be plenty of glue, so I'm not worried about durability. But I want to create that cavity. But I also don't want the cavity to hang over the eye of the hook. You could do that, but I'm not. That's not what I'm going for right now. All right. So the first glue down point will be. Let's use this one. The first glue down point will be on the tie-in point. We just want to drop right there at the tie-in point. That's way too much. Try to spread that out. And then we're going to want to press the base of the triangle down, hold it for a couple seconds. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'll show you the front here. So that's what we got. So we got a nice scoop, and then we have space to push that water. So now I think easy does it, but we're just going to rush this. This is concept. So we have to bring the head around, and then we have to close it. We'll close it there. We'll taper it. We'll taper these cuts a little bit because it seems like there's too much material. Bring it down and around. I already see a problem. Our hook, we lost our hook gap. But we're gonna still go. Maybe if we leave the head open. No, that makes no sense. Double wrapping it over, we can get our hook gap back, but we lose the coolness of our head. Yeah. We'll complete the head, and then we'll try to figure out the hook gap. If we can. If not, might be just a failure. Failed mission. So we'll put a little bit of glue here. And then we'll complete the head. Give it a squeeze. Hold it. Ooh. Should have gone further back. Should have gone further back. And then I know what I did wrong. We have to restart. The tie-in point has to be on the bottom. Yeah, I know what we did wrong. I wonder, should we just completely restart it, or yeah, let's try to use what we have here. All right, so let's take that off. Throw that away. And remove that. Start our thread again, and then I'm gonna tie it closer to the end of the hair. Okay. New triangle. This one's a little bit dirty, but that doesn't matter. Tying on the bottom. That's the key. And then maybe even over exaggerate it, putting it over the hair. Oh, but then our fold is messed up. Oh, this is not going to work. No, I think we can do it. Persevere. Persevere. Tie-in point. Glue down point. Wrap. Oh, looking better already, but still not. I think a different hook, a hook with a wider gap. You need a wider gap. A little bit of glue. Set the base. Yeah, that's enough. If it actually sits like flush like that, that would be enough. That would be enough. And then we'll close the gap. Close the gap. I'm keeping my thread on there in case I mess up again. Need the thread. Drop a glue on the edges here to close the gap. Let's close the gap. We lost kind of that perfect circle, which is a shame. Close the gap, but it's really cool. The shank of the hook is going right through the middle of our gap, and it's got kind of like this floating effect, which is I've never seen that before on a fly, which is cool. We'll go ahead and tie off. I don't want to add another piece of foam. I'm going to try to not add another piece of foam. So we have to shape it, and then adding another piece of foam would give it stability. But I kind of want to avoid that. So the next tie down would be kind of crossing these foam arms into that shape. But then that doesn't look cool. It'd be better if it was flush. So maybe hitting the edges, bringing it out, but then has like this wider narrow arrow shape bringing them down would solve it. I don't know how much, but we will find out. I think that's enough. And there. So now when we close it, yeah, that's better. Okay, let's close it. We'll close it up. Just on the inside edge. Let's close it up. If it peaks a little bit, I don't think that is a huge problem. Ideally, it'd be more circular, but I'm kind of too hasty. Yeah, that wasn't great, but it's on there. It's on there. So this is the head shape we have. It's got that divot, so it'll push water really well. It's not going to pop, but it's going to push, and the foam will keep it, surface, subsurface, and then the back material is quite. And so just leaving it like this would be fine, but we'll try to add that mono tie down and try to shape the tail. Or not. Yeah, or not. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just go for a taper here. Tapering synthetic hair with the scissors is a losing battle. You should do the taper before you tie it in, because it's really difficult to make it look good. If we tied it in, knotted it, we'll just leave it. This one is gonna be a come back and do again. Let's try to get some of those edges, or tips rather. Okay. Let's think about the head for a moment. Yeah, that 100%. There's enough hook gap. The head is kind of free floating. There's movement up and down, but it's solid in there. Eyeballs. Paint. You would paint first, and then eyeballs. Let's throw a little bit of nail polish on, just maybe the belly, because that's the only part the fish will see. Nail polish on the belly. Nail polish in the cup. That's good. A nice red gill slit would be nice. Really complete it, but we gotta dry this out. Dry it out, fan it. No way. It's not. We don't have time to. So we'll skip the red gill slit. We'll hastily put on some eyes. Eyes for streamers 100% matter, but eyes for top water, that's up for debate. And I'm gonna guess they don't matter. That would be my guess. Place the eye. Good. Other side. Oh, what? Place the eye. After this sets and dries, I think you're gonna want to come in with some kind of clear coat, something else to strengthen the seam. You're gonna want, something else to strengthen the seam. And then changes I would do if I were doing this again, I would make the tie-in point longer, so there would be more. And then I would glue. So if the tie-in point is longer, the glue down contact point would be longer, and then the bottom would be really solid. It would reduce the wiggle. Reduce the wiggle. That's what we got. The old there's a cavity. The hook eye is coming out of a cavity. There's a cavity around it. That's what we wanted. That was the mission. It would be nice to enhance that more, that donut around. But this was just the concept with the shape, triangle shape head tied in one point as the contact, and then the other sides wrapped around. We had to take a little bit off the edges. If you didn't, the head would have been wider, which maybe that would have been cool. But that's it. I think we're done for today. All right. One more time. Take a look. There she blows. I think I can catch a big dumb bass with this. Big dumb bass. That's the goal. All right. Thanks for watching. Finished.